I'm live. All right. It looks like it's stable. Let's share this link. All right. Well, hopefully. Okay, we have people here again. Sorry about that. Our internet has been absolute garbage lately. We're right above the router, so hopefully it's fine now. It happens sometimes. Sorry about that. Normally, I'm glad that this didn't happen for our interview yesterday. That would have been a disaster. It's been very cooperative every time that we've done a Skype session with someone. Hope people come back. More people. Hello again. It's working great now. Fantastic. Hello to Alex Brennan and Bug and the Pegasus System, Little Dacian, Campfires, etc. Sometimes have to bump our laptop against the router for it to work, so we understand that feeling. Just hit it like Fonzie. It'll be great. Hello, Harvest of the Mess Conglomerate. That is a great system name. We I don't know if how many people here saw parts of the Plural Positivity World Conference. Don't use Wi-Fi and you're good. I mean, if we had our own internet in this house, it'd be good. It will be like in the 90s when households would sometimes have a second phone line. But I don't know how many of you saw parts of the Plural Positivity World Conference. But there was this wonderful talk by L.B. Lee. They do a comic about their own experiences with multiplicity. So they talked about the history of the system communities. And there was this one part where they talked about how for a bit it was in style to name yourself a household. So we would be the Alexandrite household. And Sandra was so mad that we hadn't heard of this before because she would have branded us the Alexandrite household in a heartbeat. Hey, Ring System is back. Wonderful. I'm glad that everyone came back. That's a great talk topic. Yes. I really recommend watching it. It's about an hour and a half maybe. But it is worth every second. L.B. Lee is a wonderful speaker. It is on the YouTube channel Plural Events. Are those videos still up? Yes. All of those talks have archives. So, yes, you can go back and watch any of those. Yes, it was live, but it was, it's like the stream here. If anyone missed this, they can watch it. Hello to everyone who watches the VOD, I suppose. Most of these videos look really long, but the length is a live chat, not actual talk, yes. Each one of those had a Q&A afterwards with the presenter. So, like, the keynote is only actually a half hour long, but I believe the video is 2 hours in length. But it's really from about the talk itself is from 10 minutes to 40 minutes. I recommend the keynote as well. I think that sorority did a nice job with that. So I highly recommend several of those videos. Got distracted watching Bill Nye TikToks while searching for yours. That is what TikTok does. It is insidious, frankly. Fortunately, we have to leave for dinner now. Be well, Harvest. We might rebrand since our system name was based off of an old headspace. That makes sense. The term household brings to mind a closer relation between system mates. Yes, I think that's very sweet. The thing that Sandra really liked about it was that it sounded very regal. You know, I think she made a tweet that was like, you know, a stupid cis course would sound so much better if it was like the Alexandrite household officially cancels the yada yada household. The House of Alexandrite. Oh, now that's something. That might be what we call Alexandrite HQ now. Rings says, keynote is great, panel with a few systems coming out and existing as plural is great. Emengard's creating space is also great. Yes, Emengard, friends of the channel, friends of the system, Emengard, their video on creating space is wonderful as well. It's animated too. They worked really hard on that. They worked for like a week or two straight, just animating it. I remember they messaged us while they were doing it, and it really came together nicely. We're newer, so we're still trying out a couple of different things, but Toby is really hoping Jam Jar sticks. Jam Jars are rather sticky. Has anybody referred to their system as an estate? Oh, that is an interesting idea, Bug. But yes, I will link the couple of talks that we mentioned in the VOD. Or I may just link the plural events one. There are several good talks from last year too. There was one by this I think his name was Jeff or something. His late wife was a system, and he does talks about multiplicity and how to be supportive of someone who's multiple. And that talk is very nice. It's a little sad because, you know, obviously that system isn't with us anymore. But it's a nice reminiscing, and it's nice discussion of support. And so the that one, there was an interview with, I believe, the Double Gear system, listed as Proto Magical Girl at the time, I believe. Emengard did one there as well. They did talk about system representation in media. That was actually where we got a couple of books that we own. It's across the room. Oh, am I going to go and get it? Yes, I am. One moment. Please ignore wind chimes. Oh, Comics Creative Panel was very good. Yes, Comic Creative Panel this year was very nice. It had Emengard, Faces of One, I think it was a like media creation panel. So there was someone else on there. It might have been Chris's Strongholds. Sandra would always send me the most recent panel. Really? Huh. I thought those wind chimes were in the song I'm making. They sounded good. We can send you a sample if you want. This is a mood. So Emengard mentioned a couple of books in that. Of the Blobbies comic. That makes sense. Yes, Sandra does do that. You don't have to apologize, though. Embers, send us a Twitter DM, and we can record it and send it to you. So, one book that they mentioned was Amongst Ourselves. This is by Tracy Alderman. This was mentioned in our coming out as a system video. I think it's a very good self-help book for someone who has like just found out about the system. I think that it's very good. I have basically no complaints about it. It's slightly outdated because it's from 1994, maybe. Let's see. 1998. So not quite as old as we are. It's 5 years younger. Do you think reading this as a singlet is like a good idea? Yes and no. So I think I'm not sure how much a singlet would get out of it, because it has a lot of discussion on like what symptoms one might experience and about interacting with your own system. There is a section, however, in the back, 3 sections for partners, therapists, and family. And I think that's generally worth reading. I would love an updated version of this. Maybe we can write one day. Have you found that your alters each know their role in the system, or do you find that your roles become clear to 1 to 2 alters and then they share that information with the rest? As Campfire points out, I believe that's Campfire. Now I'm blanking. But not every system member has a role. But I think that... Okay, good. I don't know why I thought that might have been someone else for some reason. I think that oftentimes we've had to work out what our role in the system was. I think that a lot of the like general categories that people fall into, that the DID community falls back on, are sort of too broad and not very... We don't like them so much anymore. I think that it's a bit limiting. Like, for instance, Sandra could be called the host, but she could also very easily be called an internal self-helper, or a gatekeeper. She controls some switches. We liked ideas roles when we were in single digits or lower teens, but now we're 40+ people and we've given up on standard roles. That's pretty much where we're at as well. We are up to 20-ish now. Yes, I believe 20. We have sweet rolls, nom nom, yes. But I think oftentimes we have to guess at what her roles were. I think that, see you later, Bug. It was nice seeing you. Yes, text us later. Have a nice day. I think that roles are somewhat arbitrary. My guess at being like an emotional protector is an incredible guess. But it's an educated one to a degree. You know, I think that roles can be somewhat limiting. I think that whenever you try and put a label on something, it's limiting. And I think that the community has a big problem with limiting what a system can and cannot be, and what I think this community has a big problem with telling people what they are. But that's none of my business. We don't love roles, but have found for new system members they can be a helpful place to start feeling grounded. Yes, I agree. I think that Claudia really embraced the protector role at first, and she still mostly does. And I think that really helped her. Even though I've been diagnosed, my mom is still trying to make me have my alters go away. How should I explain to her why I do not want that? I mean, to a degree, you really can't change anyone's mind. Somewhat. I think doing your best to explain that this is who you all are and who you've always been, and to pretend that you're all going to go back to being one person, quote unquote, is not realistic and not something that that you want. I mean, it's your brain. You get the final say in what happens. But I know it's not easy with parents. I really hope that something works out for you. Someone says, the Campfire system says, we know of a mother of a system on Twitter. We can direct you and to her for help and advice. If you, yes, do you know what the ad is on Twitter? Because that would be nice to link them. Someone says, yes, we are new. Roles help us understand, ground. Understanding myself as a fragment allows me to be comfortable with my limits in the directions I can think, the ways I can behave. Yes, I can understand that to a degree. Sharing this with my friends has been the hardest part. It's difficult to try and choose which people deserve that level of trust. Yes. There's still some friends that we're not completely comfortable with discussing it, even though a lot of our friends, a lot, if not all of our friends know about it. It's just sort of like they know, but we don't talk about it because it's awkward to talk about it, and they get kind of weird about it. Like for instance, the baseball game that Claudia I mentioned Claudia was playing before. She used to do that with one of her friends, and it's difficult to understand. It's difficult to say to someone, the person that you thought you were doing this with for years, that was actually me. Like, stop calling me Sandra while I do this. It makes things awkward and difficult as a whole thing. But, it's something to work on, A lot of those friends were planning on having for life. So, This time. A lot of parents struggle to understand that this coping mechanism is a big and important part of your life. Helping our mom understand dissociation and how it works helped her come to terms with it. Yes, I think education can be a good resource. I know that really helped our parents. Forcing them to engage with it also helped our parents. Being like, "Oh, hello, it's Ellen today." Yes, it was helpful. So much so that actually our sisters and our mother wished Susan a happy birthday, which was not something we expected. Our father didn't, probably because he didn't know. Though last year I believe he forgot our like body birthday. He's really not normally that forgetful, but it's a whole thing. If your therapist is okay, your therapist might be able to help. Parents are so bad at listening to the children regardless of age, yes. I feel like, quote unquote, getting rid of system members would be like randomly taking away some abilities, hobbies, and interests from a singlet. Does that make sense? I agree. I know that there's one system who integrated, like a well-known system from back in the day, and they said that that the whole was less than the sum of the parts. Even though we think that integration is fake anyway, or at least final fusion is fake. The ad for the person is at LISHEVITA, Lishevita, I suppose. So that's the Twitter of the mother to the Serif system at Adrian Walls on Twitter. I think we know the Serif system. Or we've seen them in comments or something before. That's nice. I didn't know that. I'll have to go follow them and, the mother. Not a question, but y'all's confidence is truly awe-inspiring. I admire your authenticity and bravery. Thank you very much. It is not easy. And I suppose we do fear... I guess we don't really fear repercussions anymore at this point because we don't have a job anymore. And we didn't lose it because of our multiplicity. So... It's sort of the opposite of that comic that's like no fears. Someone with a shirt with something walks by. One fear. It's like one fear, losing a job because we have DID. Lost your job. No fears. Pegasus System, thank you for joining us. It is nearly 3 a.m. there. Go to bed. Go to bed, Pegasus System. That is... My lord, is that Australia? No. You've talked to us before, I think. You are from the Philippines? I think. We so desperately want to be more public with our multiplicity, but we can't even lose a job. That's a risk. From Australia. Okay, it's someone else who's from the Philippines. We have a couple of Australian friends, so we know that time difference. So yes, go to sleep. Have a nice night. Yes, we always say don't come out at work. Just don't. You don't have to come out to everyone. You can just be, That's why we never made a live before, yes. You could always do like an audio live. I remember there was this website back in the day that was like live podcasts, essentially. I think it was called Shoe Phone? There was something with shoes and phone involved. Cabin System is from the Philippines, I think. Yes. Okay. That makes more sense. And it was streaming before streaming was really a thing. And we were involved with that. That was very fun. We made some friends there. Now I'm reminiscing about podcasts that don't exist anymore, probably. We're currently only out to our partner. A roommate would be next. That might be a nice step. You know, whenever you're ready, whenever it feels safe and comfortable and stuff. I think that it could be nice. It's fine when oh, yes, I read that already. But yes, I think that audio-only streams could possibly be a thing. I know that we've considered doing, like, video game live streams, like, just apart from all our channel stuff. Just be like, hey, we're going to play Hitman for like 2 hours. Come watch us, and we'll talk about multiplicity or something. Well, you know, we just assassinate someone. But yes, it's something to think about for us. Maybe we could buy a capture card. I don't know. Would you all watch that? We do have a Twitch. Do you all have any advice about how to learn to take care of littles as a 20-year-old who can hardly take care of all of my stuff? It's difficult to try and also be a mother to my littles. We would watch anything that y'all did. Thank you. How to take care of littles. I think the biggest advice is to be gentle with them. I think that it's very difficult to be a child in an adult body, and that being gentle with them and treating them like their own age. I think doing some things like enforcing a bedtime, or like having some small amount of, like, not discipline, but I guess routine or boundaries can be really helpful for a child. I know that we thrive under routine. It's just that we can't. Yes, bedtimes, rewards, boundaries. Rewards are always a great one. Stuffed animals are good. Let's do a stuffed animal tour real quick. I still haven't done the rest of these books, but we'll do stuffed animals and then do the books. Oof. So first of all, let's talk about our friends back here. This is... Oh, can you see him? The purple alien over here. This is Dr. Robot. I'm not going to take anything down from there because I'm afraid that it's going to knock everything over. That is Dr. Robot. He's from... There we go. He's from this comic called The Woods by James Tynion IV and Michael Danielius? Where is he? Oh, there it is. Dialnus? Something like that. He's the artist. Great series. We have all of it. It has a trans character in it. Couple, maybe? At least one, a trans man, too. So, yes, he's from that. We got that. It was a limited run. It's actually signed by them, too. Interesting. So, yes, I think that it was... Yeah, 150 of these got made. It's quite nice. All of you in the Alexandrite system are very inspiring. I've been subscribed for a while. You're so knowledgeable and kind. I follow you guys on Twitter. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I struggle enforcing boundaries with our littles because they hold trauma and I just want to give them anything they want. I think that you can be kind and accepting of, and kind and accommodating to people's trauma while also not being a pushover. Treat them how you would have liked to be treated. Yes, exactly. I think at least that's what we do. We have a kind of mother figure in Headspace. I'm scared to reach out, but I'm trans too. Oh, you mean on Twitter? Yes. It is nice to see other trans systems out there. Your FTM, yes. Yeah. There are a lot of MTF systems out there. Oh, sorry, FTM systems out there. It's a nice community. Yes, transes represent. For us, routine is huge. Patience and compassion are key, and making sure they have a variety of activities and toys is helpful since we didn't have much stuff as kids for kids before they got bored. Yes, definitely. So stuffed animals. So this is Clementine. She's an alpaca. Is there someone back here? No. This is Pico, I think. I think that's the name. Then we have a melon-bred cat underneath. It's bred. His little feet. Look at the feet. Then we of course have Booba from Fraggle Rock, our system representation up there. The bred cat, yes. I think one of our friends gave that to us. It's very nice. I love him. So then we have Nutmeg. Nutmeg is one of Sunny's Build-A-Bears. And they made this for their birthday last year. It's been very well loved. It's not nearly as fluffy as it used to be. And we tried like brushing it out and stuff, and we tried all sorts of things, but it didn't really work. Right before the pandemic, someone at Build-A-Bear said that if we brought it in, they could maybe clean it for us, and they have a spray or something. We'll see. Once, you know. Then we have. Oh, by the way, Sunny says that Nutmeg is a system. They are the pumpkin spice system because they. Sunny decided that 3 people in the system are nutmeg, allspice, and cinnamon. So yes, nutmeg, pumpkin spice system. Then we have Mel. Mel is Nutmeg's girlfriend. I don't have much to say about Mel. We got Mel for Christmas for Sunny. Same year. Looks like the perfect bear, like stereotypical teddy bear. Yes, it had a name like classic teddy bear or something. I'm not sure. The type is yes. So know that if you like drool and sweat on it a lot, it's going to get like the way the fur is. It sort of all binds together. It's sort of like felting, where you just kind of like stab it with a needle over and over, and it rips stuff up, and it like bunches into a hard thing. But yes, this is Mel. Then we have Glow's stuffed animal. This is Puppa's. He was named before like oh, look at that fluffy Puppa became a thing. We've had Puppas since late 2012. He's been well loved. He was originally a gift for one of our first girlfriends, but when we broke up, she gave him back to us. My God, he's 8 years old now. That is old. Kind of like it gets into clumps, kind of, yes. Is Puppa's our oldest stuffy? No. Sorry, Puppas. Our oldest stuffy is Beethoven. We have had him for 25 years. Yeah, he was given to us when we were like 1 or 2. And we've kept him in pretty good shape. He is a wise pup. He's seen a lot of things. He's been a lot of places, and he has a lot of thoughts. That's older than our body. Oh dear. So yes, that's Beethoven. Actually, Cloudy, who, if you don't follow us on Twitter, one, you're missing out, and two, Cloudy is a new person in our system. I'm going to put Beethoven back gently. So Cloudy is a new person in our system, and they are pretty young. I would say under 8 or younger, and they came back after being away for quite some time. I would say they haven't been out since maybe 2003, probably earlier than that. And so, so they had a therapy session, and they started getting really depressed and anxious and sort of panicking about the fact that nothing was the same anymore. Like, we weren't in the same state. It's like, whereas, they were asking, like, they don't know where mom is, or like they know where mom is, but they don't really understand. The only two things in this house that were familiar to them were our series of unfortunate events books and Beethoven. So they grabbed Beethoven, and they had Beethoven with them for the rest of the session. Drawing also helped. I'll get back to Cloudy in a moment, because I do want to talk about memory and things. Emily in our system, our most front active little, loves dragons, and we have a number of them, all non-how to train new dragon stuffies, except one which is named Hugo. The one that isn't Nika's, because Nika is Black Dragon in a subsystem. Interesting. One of our littles is near front and wants to say she has stuffed lion that she loves very much and doesn't have a name yet. She'd love a suggestion. Her name is Callie. Hello, Callie. A suggestion for a stuffed animal that is a lion. What about Lennox? Lennox is one of the dragons. Lennox is one of the lions outside of the New York Public Library. We have many dragon stuffies, and all of them are Hugo, except one that is Nika. Interesting. Lennox, so I don't know what the other lion's name is. Public Library lion names. Lady Astor and Lord Lennox. Even though they're both male lions. We stan a trans lion. I love it, thank you. I'm glad we could help. We don't name our stuffies since we tend to drop them, rip them, and throw them across rooms. Naming them would just make most of us feel bad anyway. I get that. Emily likes the name Hugo, I don't know why. Okay, that makes it. They're all named Hugo except for one that's named after a black dragon in your system. That's very cute. Trans lion stand game, yes. I keep zoning out, but I heard we stand a trans lion. Hello, I'm here for it. Yes. Apparently, one of the New York I cannot speak today. One of the lions outside the New York Public Library, those statues, is named Lady Astor, but it's a boy lion. So, well, boy lion. So yes, that's good to know. Okay, now I'm going to finish talking about the books that I was talking about 20 minutes ago. So, the books that we have that are multiplicity related, we have a book of poems by the Chris's. It is called Poetic License, A Poetic Journey Through the Labyrinth of Multiplicity by Chris Itterman. It's called The Chrising Link, maybe? Chrising Link Poetic License? It's hard to tell what the actual title is. Okay, it's called The Chrising Link, Poetic License. So, there's that. We haven't read that one yet, but, Chris is our associates of ours. So, it's nice to have something by them. Then we have When Rabbit Howls, a classic about the troops for Trudy Chase. Try saying that 3 times fast. Big trigger warning on this book. We haven't read all of this yet. We're still, we say this every couple of months, but it's like we're still trying to read, reread In and Out of Ice Glass by Sarah Smith. It's a great book. It's just we haven't been reading a lot lately. Hello to Legible Potato. Nice to see you. And then, so we bought this online. Again, we have not read this yet. I guess the only thing we've read lately has been Animorphs. But this one is called Telling Without Talking. It is art as a... Okay, so first of all, this book is, I believe, pre-90s, so it does use the term multiple personality disorder. Oh no, it does say DID. It's from 1995. Nope. Yes, 1995. So I don't blame it for still using multiple personalities on the cover. Art as a Window into the World of Multiple Personality by Barry and M. Cohen and Carol Thayer Cox. It's interesting. It's very wonderful to have a DID art book. And it is largely just art and explaining the art. It's so interesting. I'm trying to find pictures that aren't trigger warning for trauma on this, obviously. Way too miss. We were talking about stuffed animals and littles, and we're talking about DID books right now. We talked a little bit about videos, among other things. Oh, I did impressions. I did impressions of other system members. I actually learned about this book from the fallout of a certain system no longer being in the community. Someone brought up this book in like a rebuttal. That's just a picture of Garfield. That is just Garfield. Two images are drawn side by side. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Basically the meaning, they say like the structure and then the meaning. They suggest that this is a collaboration between two different people, and that the image on the right is an attempt for the other person to draw Garfield. Nice Wee Bear shirt. Thank you very much. I love this shirt. We actually wore this for our interview yesterday with I mean, it's not a secret who we interviewed. Kiernan, Sjursten, Leon, who they're the system that put out that comic that we retweeted the other day. They do Secondhand Soup, which was primarily what we interviewed them about. They have DID, and they do DID representation in Secondhand Soup. It's an interview that Sandra was planning for about a year. It was a whole thing. We emailed them last year about it, and then it was a whole thing. It wasn't their fault; it was our fault. But yes, it's very. I might read some more of this today, and by some more of this, I mean some of it to start. I'm telling two stories at the same time. The reason I said that interview is we wore this yesterday because they work in animation. They work for Nickelodeon. So we were like, we don't have any Nickelodeon shirts, so we're like, Cartoon Network. It's still animation. Yes. So I don't know what I was talking about 3 topics ago when I was talking about things. But yes, that's. Oh, hello again, Bug. We were talking about stuffed animals and books, and I died for Garfield. Oh, I wonder if I can find the Garfield again. No. Yeah, some of the art in this book is rough, and there's obviously a reason why it's rough. But I think it's interesting. I am so glad that we found out about this book because it's out of print, and we would have never even thought that this book would exist. And it's something where definitely we might do a discussion on this book and the idea. I wonder if Hemingard knows this book exists. We need to tell them. I'm sorry that I have like 10 thoughts at the same time always. But yes, Plural Book Club. I think that's a good name for it. I think that we are maybe going to finally finish reading our finally finish rereading In and Out of Ice Glass so that we can do a review on that finally. It's a great book. Difficult read. No, easy read, difficult subject matter. And also we just haven't had the attention span lately, as you can probably tell. Oh, I hit my Eve's apple. So that's something. So yes. Do you have a favorite book in general? Is it shared by any of the system members as a favorite? Do I have a favorite book? I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite book. Perhaps I need to read more. But I know that a few different people in the system are very into Kurt Vonnegut. We have a ton of his books over there. I think that Sandra's favorite is Slaughterhouse-5. And we were going to get a Slaughterhouse-5 tattoo for a bit. Didn't end up happening. And I feel like Claudia probably likes Mother Night. Maybe Breakfast of Champions? I don't know. I don't know it well enough to tell you. I don't know. I've just never... I need to get on that. Need to have something for me, I suppose. Cat's Cradle. I don't believe we've read Cat's Cradle. We've read Breakfast of Champions, Slaughterhouse 5, Mother Night. Have we read Sirens of Titan? I don't remember. We've read a few of his short stories. Oh, we also read Man Without a Country. We will check out Cat's Cradle. I think we own it. Probably do. Yep, I see it. Cat's Cradle. Looks like we have an older copy too. What medium of art are you most drawn to, like movies, books, painting, drawing, etc.? I like photography. I think photography has an interesting and complicated history, because I think that oftentimes the photos that people are like, oh, it's so moving, and get all sorts of awards and things, are images that are built on the back of people's suffering, and often built on the back of those people without their permission, and with sort of white savior complex. Several photos come to mind for that. But I think there's a lot of things that you can capture in a photograph that you can't capture in any other way, really. Do I have a favorite photographer? I do not. I think that I more prefer individual works than broad people. Than artists and photographers. Right, that's so interesting, the story behind a photograph kind of thing. Yes. It's sort of like the voices of silence. Interesting. Yes. There was... we watched this video by Jacob Geller. He does a lot of video game discussions. And his essays are wonderful. Everyone should go check him out. I'll link him in the show notes. I need to link that woman's Twitter, Plural Events, and Jacob Geller. And it's 52 minutes into this video. So I think that... he was saying that he feels one of the first things, trigger warning, gun violence, not like mass gun violence, but just like video game gun violence and like war, and death. So he, I'll wave when it's done. So he said that he feels that one of the things that brought headshots, quote unquote, more into the popular conscience was this one particular photo from the Vietnam War where someone's getting shot in the head. And it's, I think, a very interesting idea that a single photograph can, change an aspect of culture. That video is interesting. It also goes into a lot about police brutality. I love Jacob Geller's work. It's wonderful. Yes, and the brutal truth, yes. Trigger warning over, by the way. So yes, does anyone have any final questions while we sort of wrap up here? I think we have to head off and eat lunch. Lovely hanging out with you all. Have a good stream. Thank you, Ring System. I hope that you have a nice lunch and that you have a lovely day. So yes, any sort of final questions before we go and probably eat lunch as well? Thank you for sharing your time. Thank you everyone for coming out. By the way, it's always lovely to see that we regularly get people who are who enjoy coming out here and listening to us ramble endlessly. How are you doing? I'm doing better than I was, and I'm glad that I did this stream. I'm glad that I got to talk to people and talk about things that I enjoy. So I think that's nice. Alright, I'm going to give it like 2 more minutes for a final couple of questions here. And then if there's nothing, we will wrap up. So, yes. I think that... Does the home you're going to move to have a nice big garden space? We don't know what home we're going to move to yet. We need to get another job first. Otherwise, we can't apply for a mortgage. It's like we have the down payment. We just need the money to continue other payment. The sooner that you accept that, the easier things will be. I think the stream will stop. Stopped again. Oh no. Am I back? Oh, it's back. Good. I'm not sure how much you heard. My advice was be nice to each other. Be open to being wrong. And you're all just as real as each other, and the sooner that you accept that, the easier things are going to be. And I hope that you got it. I think the stream is cutting out anyway, so... I think we'll end it here. I don't know if this pod is going to be in the VOD, but if it is, thank you so much for watching. Your continuing support means a lot to us. We might have a video out on Monday, we might not, but we will definitely have one out on Thursday. So yes, thank you. We love doing this, and thank you for the support.